Today I fucked up by lying about my lack of a gag reflex in order to sound hot and sexy. Worst hump day ever. I was texting with a guy last night who was very attractive. In trying to impress him and to make the chat sexier so he would want to meet up, I lied about having no gag reflex and talked about how I loved deep throating. This right here was my fuck up and I own it. Well, that lie seemed to work, and he invited me over to his condo in downtown a few blocks from my office this morning for a before work BJ. During our time together, he unexpectedly grabbed my head and started to make me deep throat him without any warning. Before I had the chance to react and push him off, I gagged so hard that I projectile vomited my breakfast on the rug, arm of the couch, and coffee table. Needless to say, we both lost further interest in fun immediately. He grabbed a bunch of paper towels and I tried my best to pick up the chunks and blot off as much liquids from the fabrics as possible. I even sprayed fabric cleaner on the couch and rug and let them soak for a few minutes before blotting again. I cleaned up the couch well because it was dark colored, but the very light colored rug had a big faint yellowish stain I couldn't get off. Wiped the coffee table last because it wasn't fabric, but didn't realize the tabletop was marble. Despite cleaning it, the marble had already etched where the stomach juice was sitting, but I didn't mention anything. I apologized and offered to pay for cleaning of the rug by a professional, but he was freaking out because it was a rug he and his wife bought at the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul while traveling a few years ago. His wife cherishes the rug. Well, I didn't know he was cheating, so I guess my accident was a blessing in disguise. I rescinded my offer to pay for professional rug cleaning and left. Too long didn't read. I lied about having no gag reflex and it led me to throwing up all over someone's living room. It was a blessing in disguise because I found out the guy was a cheater. I think I've had 4 women tell me they had no gag reflex. They all had a strong gag reflex. Deleted. Instant karma. You'll never understand what guys say to get strangers to come over and blow them, especially first thing in the morning. Clue: what guys say to get guys to come over for a breakfast blow job. Jesus. Even if you can suppress your gag reflex, you need some warning. That was messed up to grab your head like that. As someone who has no gag reflex, I do, just not when sucking dick apparently. Smiley face. I definitely agree. Sure, I can get it all in, but I need to be prepared both physically and mentally or I psych myself out and can't do it. Smiley face. I feel like a general rule of thumb when shoving a dick in anything, the receiving end always will need some prepping regardless of where you're sticking it. Is this what normal people do? It is not. Today I fucked up by making fun of my girlfriend's mom and possibly getting banned from coming over again. I was at a party for my girlfriend's dad's birthday. My GF's mom begins to talk about how her husband sent her flowers at work. GF's mom: I got these really ugly flowers from my husband at work the other day. They were neon blue and orange. The kind of really ugly ones that are the last ones to be bought at Costco. The kind, looks at me, I'm sorry _the_medic, the kind Mexicans buy. My girlfriend looks at her mom and says that is very racist and uncalled for, and I sit there for a split second with a WTF expression, and say, I don't know what you mean. We Mexicans don't buy flowers. Usually we are at the exits of the freeway selling those exact shitty flowers to white people like you. Laughter ensues and my girlfriend's mom gives me the stink eye. Too long didn't read. Used my girlfriend's mom own joke against her and might have been banned from coming over. Edit: I've also posted this in r/mythusole as a lot of you told me it belongs there. If she can't take that excellent comeback, she is not worth worrying about. What made it funnier, her mother-in-law was giving me high fives. Next time you go to your GF house, get her mom the exact flowers she described with a little Mexican flag in them. She'll either get the joke and warm up, or you'll find she's not worth trying to win over at all. Love this idea, smiley face, smiley face. Next time you go, bring her an aloe plant for that burn. I wouldn't want to let that poor plant suffer. She's known to have a black thumb when it comes to plants. We all know the good old Mexicans buy brightly colored Costco flowers stereotype. Yeah, turns out they prefer canned beans too, smiley face. Nah, she's the one that was absolutely uncalled for. If she can't take the heat, then she should stay out of the kitchen. And maybe stop dipping her chips in my salsa while she's at it too, smiley face. Today I fucked up by carrying my drunk girlfriend. This happened late 2018 whilst on holiday in Tenerife. Me and my girlfriend had been out partying at some bars/clubs for our last night before having to fly home the next day. We had drank a lot but decided to leave before we got to the blackout stage. As we started walking back to the apartment, my girlfriend was complaining that her new heels were hurting her feet, so me being the kind gentleman I am, I kindly offered her to climb onto my back so I could carry her. We hadn't walked very far and she kept falling down, so my genius drunk brain thought it would be a good idea to lean over on the count to 3 whilst she climbs up. Not a good idea. Very bad. We both went down and having both our weight, I landed face first and busted my lip and eye. Luckily all my teeth were still all in place and my girlfriend had only hurt her knee. This happened right in front of 2 taxi drivers and they didn't even laugh or offer to help. They're probably used to seeing drunk tourists doing stupid shit. After getting up and realizing we were both in a bad mess and that it was gonna be a long walk home, some kind stranger walked past and kind of realized what had happened and gave us €5 to get a taxi back. The next day I had to travel to the airport hungover and with a busted face, balloon lip. I can't imagine what people were thinking when they looked at me. I'd be able to attach a photo for proof of my face if this gets any attention. Too long didn't read. I carried my drunk girlfriend while also drunk and fell over, causing me to smash my face on the concrete. Edit 1. As promised, the picture of my injury may not look horrific but was definitely swollen and had to travel whilst hungover looking like this. Edit 2. Wow, cannot believe how much this has popped off. Literally our first ever post, as we decided to be fun to share our today I fucked ups as we enjoy reading others. Edit 3. As promised, the next story for those who care. I thought it was going to end with you carrying her over your shoulder and some person accusing you of kidnapping her, leading to the cops being called or an arrest or something. Rookie mistake, kiddo. If you drunk till you blacked out, you would have passed out in a bar and only got sexually assaulted by a 60-year-old Spanish man. You will know for next time. One time I did this. Except instead of piggyback I fireman carried my girlfriend a quarter mile. We passed a house with a bunch of drunk people who all cheered/yelled at us. Right after that a cop stopped me because he thought I was going to rape her or something lamau. I remember in high school, I always joked to my then BF that I was tired or didn't want to walk so far and to carry me. But being about 200 pounds I never meant it. He decided that he would actually pick me up despite my protests. He tried to pick me up bridal style, ended up dropping me and then falling on top of me.